Greetings everyone, this is Redberryweo here, and welcome back to another quick Civil Air Patrol video. In today's video, I just wanted to talk about the new Civil Air Patrol regulation updates for CAP Regulation 60-2. And for those of you who are not familiar with this numbering, this is the Cadet Protection Regulation that is associated with what we're required to do when we are working with cadet members. And so, the main update is that there are new ratios of the number of cadets versus the number of adult members that are present at activities, and I'm just going to quickly outline that information and also include a link in the description so that you can also check out that information yourself. So, to go through from start to finish, there is the single day activities, there is the overnight activities, and then there are high adventure activities. For single day activities, you will be required to have one adult member for every 15 cadets that are present, and you must meet the minimum of 2 deep leadership where you have 2 adult members present at the activity. So if you have, let's say, 20 cadets, you're still required to have 2 adult members present. If you have 100 cadets, so if you've got your little groups of 15 here, so we've got 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, and then it's a little bit over that. So at a minimum, you would need 7 adult members, because they require that we round up in order to meet the 15-to-1 ratio, or 15 cadets to 1 adult member at a time. For overnight activities, that ratio changes a little bit. So it's 1 adult member to every 12 cadets. And the reason for that is they just want to make sure that there are enough adults present at an activity and to ensure that there is proper coverage of in loco parentis so that adults are aware of what's going on and able to maintain accountability, safety, and a proper training environment for all those involved. It's a little bit different of a ratio between the two, so National understands that there will be some challenges with meeting this ratio, but keep in mind, units can have cadet sponsor members. The important thing to think about is, like, if you are a unit commander, like, how can you continue to engage cadet parents in order to talk about becoming a cadet sponsor member, becoming an adult member, because for activities, for 2 deep leadership, you can have a cadet sponsor member and an adult member, but at a minimum, you need at least 1 full Civil Air Patrol member as one of the adults for the 2 deep leadership. It's okay if one's a cadet sponsor member, but at a minimum, one has to be a Civil Air Patrol member. So cadet sponsor members will come in handy if, let's say, they've got a cadet who's attending your museum tour and they're willing to drive their personal vehicle or their POV. Then there are a lot of benefits to having cadet sponsor members. So just something to keep in mind, because I know a couple of members have mentioned concerns that, like, how are we going to meet these ratios? What if we've got 50 cadets and we only have 2 adult members available? If you only have 2, then the maximum that you could have is 30 cadets. And that's just to make sure that we are in compliance with the new updates to CAP Regulation 60-2. And I will also include a link in the description to the regulation itself, so that if you do want to look a little bit more in depth, it has the interim change letter at the very top of the document as of posting this video. And so you'll be able to look at that and become more familiar with the material as well. For high adventure activities, we are required to use the Girl Scout Activity Safety Checkpoint Guide, and I'll include a link to that in the description. We're still required to have 2 deep leadership, so, like, if we've got a rappel tower, you should still have 2 adults nearby. But you'd probably also have an instructor, you might have rappel masters present, and it's important to make sure that the ratio isn't too big of a difference between the number of cadets to supervisory adults. Let's say you just want to do a little bit more training, you want to provide that resource to your members. There is a module available in our learning management system within e-services. Just look up supervisory ratios, a cadet protection update, and you should be able to find that module, enroll, and complete that. So If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments down below. There is also an email address. I will include a lot of links in this. There's like an information page. There's a specific person, part of the National Headquarters staff, that can address any questions specific for units that need to be addressed about these updates. And so I will include the link to the page, and if you need contact information on specific case scenarios, you can talk to the individual listed there. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and that is all, folks. Until next time. Doodles.